In fact, gold got dipped down to 1190s yesterday. It's returned to, the last time I looked at it, it was 1101. But it's not looking good. And that relates to the issue of what's happening with the stock market crash, in relation to the stock market crash. If we're going to see a stock market crash in the U.S. in the fall of 2015, to use a hypothetical example, we would expect to see commodity prices begin to crash a few months ahead of time. That is precisely what happened just before the great financial crisis of 2008, and we're watching the exact same thing happen right now. On Wednesday, commodities got absolutely pummeled. And at this point, Bloomberg Commodity Index is down a whopping 26% over the past 12 months. When global economic commodities such as copper, iron ore, aluminum, zinc, nickel, lead, tin, and lumber are all considered to be leading indicators that can tell us a lot about where things are headed next. Not good. And did you know that Detroit's having a bad financial situation? And they've got a horrible financial reputation. We all know that, right? Detroit. Well, guess what? Houston, Texas debt has now surpassed Detroit. The pension funds themselves report debts of $3.2 billion. But the real market value of Houston's unfunded pension liability is $13.7 billion. Do you know what that means if you're planning on getting your retirement 5 years from now? Not. $13.7 billion in debt for pension funds. Unfunded liability. Unfunded pension liability. James Corbett's going to be on Monday. We'll be discussing this and other issues with him. How far away is the crash is the question. $13.7 billion. Houston's unfunded pension liability. And if you subtract the city's capital assets, such as buildings and roads, which aren't likely to be sold off, and then compare the remaining liquid assets against non-pension debts, Houston is in the hole by $12.3 billion. Now, that's just Houston. How many other cities have not revealed their true and correct financial condition? We'll be back after this 3-minute break with the Power Hour. Stay tuned. What do El Paso, New York, and Chicago have in common? I'll tell you. Stay tuned.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is Joyce Riley from the Power Hour, and I want to introduce you to Numana Storable Foods. This is the first brand of storable foods that I am willing to put my name behind. It's food you can trust. No GMOs, no MSG, no chemical preservatives, and no fake meat. Plus, Numana doesn't just make that claim. They back it up with independent evaluation and testing. Another thing that Numana really does that excites me is the delicious vegetarian options. If your standards are as high as mine, I can confidently tell you that Numana Storable Foods are the quality choice that you've been waiting for. Numana won't just meet your expectations, they will exceed them. And that's why we're thrilled to have the good guys from Numana joining the Power Hour family. Go to powerprepper.com and learn about Numana Storable Foods. You can also call 877-817-9829. That's 877-817-9829. Numanna, the storable food you'll love to eat.
Identity theft is real. So real, it could be making you its next victim right now. At the gas pump, bank, or store where you shop with your credit card, bad guys with RFID scanners can peer into your wallet or purse from a short distance away, stealing information from your RFID-enabled credit or debit cards, passports, room keys, and ID cards without you even knowing it. Stop the bad guys now with an RFID blocking wallet from ID Stronghold. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID blocking industry over 10 years ago. Their stylish sleeves, clutch purses, and wallets are shielded throughout. The best you can buy at great pricing, as low as $14.99. Don't wait until your wallet needs replacing. Protect your identity now. Click idstronghold.com or call 1-800-610-2770. That's 1-800-610-2770. ID Stronghold, the original RFID wallet company.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for caring about your world, doing the next right and honorable thing. Sometimes it's hard, but, you know, if we strive for that, if we always think in terms of that, it'll take us in the right direction. I am convinced. Do you know that there are some people that are called superhuman because of what their bodies contain that could make them worth billions, their DNA? Drug companies are exploiting rare mutations that make one person nearly immune to pain, another one to broken bones. And you know what? Given the fact that the elite of this country want to exploit people and use their DNA, one of the best ways to find out who has these mutations is to require DNA samples, whether it be the military, because they are required, as you know, or be somebody who's picked up for a failure to signal or something horrible like that. Anyway, there are people that can literally, like this guy, Stephen Pete, he can put his hand on a hot stove and step on a piece of glass and not feel a thing. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing, but only a dozen people in the world have that congenital insensitivity to pain. Anyway, drug companies see riches in this rare mutation. They want their DNA to sell, and they'll probably pay them. Not as much as the pharmaceutical companies will get, of course. They also have their eye on people like Timothy Dreyer, 25, who has bones so dense he could walk away from accidents that would leave other people with broken limbs. About 100 people have this called sclerostenosis. Both men apparently have superpowers from exceedingly uncommon deviations in their DNA. And since man wants to create man and doesn't want God to continue the job of creating man, you can see where this is going. Scientists inject nematode genes into cattle DNA to alter the beef composition, more genetically altered food. The reason why you want to buy local, know the people that provide it to you. Get cow meat if you eat meat from a natural diet of grass rather than grain or a byproduct or this GMO whatever. Toxic plants now are growing in Canada and the U.S., causing third-degree burns. This is horrible. I mean, these plants cause extreme skin irritation, temporary or permanent blindness, and scarring. And where are they coming from? It's called the cow parsnip. That's one of them. It occurs from sea level to 9,000 feet. That's kind of encompassing. In which cow parsnip and the phototoxic giant hogweed, the occurrence of cow parsnip can cause public concern due to its generally similar appearance. However, while the cow parsnip can grow up to 2 meters tall, the giant hogweed lives up to its name by typically growing 2 to 5 meters tall with huge leaves to match. Third-degree burns. There's an article in the email blast, how to know which mushrooms are safe to eat and which are toxic. There are ways that you can tell, but I would be very careful if I was going to be doing that. Aspartame update. Coke illegally claims diet soda can combat obesity. And who drinks diet sodas? Mostly obese people. And they stay that way many, many times while believing that, gee, I would be a lot heavier if I were drinking regular Coke with high fructose corn syrup. 12 natural immunity essentials for the home. That's in the email blast. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break with the Power Hour. Stay tuned. This is Joyce Riley.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Good morning. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. It's all about profits on Wall Street this morning. General Motors profits doubled thanks to strong sales of its Silverado and Sierra pickups in this country. Other companies did not fare quite as well. McDonald's profits were better than expected, but down because it's selling fewer burgers and fries here and in Asia, and it's spending like mad to win customers back. Caterpillar's profits fell into a rather deep hole thanks to weak demand for mining equipment all around the world. In non-profit news, Aetna Make That Anthem Insurance reportedly in talks to buy rival Cigna, a deal that would create a company with 53 million customers. Some good news for truck drivers, large and small. Pump prices for diesel are now cheaper than regular gas in 21 states. Diesel can cost up to 30 cents more per gallon because so much of it gets exported overseas. The UAW reportedly begins contract talks with Ford today, and Harry Potter turns 26. Daniel Radcliffe was born in 1989. Chuck Kamlick, CNBC.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH+ combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH+ gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Good morning. It's 6:02. I'm Bill Schwartz. Here's your traffic and weather. Partly cloudy, humid temperatures today. Highs up in the 80s in the IE and LA beaches. As usual, we'll be down in the mid-70s. Currently, it's 69 degrees. Checking out your drive in Corona, there's stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. And in Ontario, we've got slow traffic on the 60. That's westbound between Haven Avenue and Reservoir Street. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Friday night, July 24th at Wien's Family Cellars Winery in Temecula. A concert under the stars featuring Berlin with lead singer Terry Nunn and their huge hits, Sex and Riding on the Metro. Opening the show, Temecula's very own, the 4019s. The entire show is hosted by me, the Poor Man. Berlin, the 4019s, and dinner. Friday night, July 24th at Wien's Family Cellars Winery in Temecula. Get your tickets now. Go to goldencrownproductions.com. Call 951-658-2411 for more information. Concert in support of Hospice of the Valley. So we'll see you Friday night, July 24th, Wien's Family Cellars Winery in Temecula. Berlin, 4019s, hosted by me, the Poor Man. See you there.
In AgNet West today, the drought is affecting California farmers in some ways you may not think of. The story next.
You put more into your crops than most people realize. Time, effort, heart, and the not-so-proverbial blood, sweat, and tears. Farming's not just a career. It is your passion. At Compass Minerals, your passion is our commitment. We're proud to offer you Potassium Plus Premium Sulfate of Potash, a high-potassium fertilizer with sulfate sulfur and virtually no chloride. It's the potassium source that brings more to the table, so you can too. Call your local distributor or visit potassiumplus.com.
Mary Holtz-Claus is the Dean for the Agriculture College at California State Polytechnic University in Pomona. She says California farmers are not just battling the drought. However, they're dealing with a host of misinformation floating in the public.
Farmers in California use about 40% of the available water. The other 20% is used for human consumption in California, and then the other 40% of the water is used for environmental reasons. And it's very unfortunate. I believe it was probably in February this year, there was a very erroneous conversation that was in one of the major U.S. publications that went around the world that talked about the fact that farmers are big users of water and they use up to 80%. That is not true. They're using around 40% of the water. And you have to also recognize that California is the #1 agricultural state for cash receipts from farm marketing. So, and the importance of, from an economic standpoint, to ensure that our farmers do have water is very important to the robustness of the economy of California.
She says whether it's California or elsewhere, adversity forces farmers to look at their strategies differently.
One of the resources which can be very helpful to farmers are the resources which are available on the Agriculture Marketing Resource Center.
I'm Sabrina Hill for AgnetWest.com.
As the markets continue higher and experts continue to call for a correction, how should you invest? Do you buy now, hoping for higher highs, or wait for a pullback and hope it's not the beginning of a major correction? Do you sell now before the markets correct, or hold on for even bigger gains? Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we believe proactive management is the key to successful investing. We start by developing an investment portfolio that fits your needs and risk tolerance. Then we continue to analyze the markets and your portfolio, making adjustments as market conditions and your lifestyle change. If you're fearful about your investments or unsure which way to turn, call me, Mo Ansari, at 1-800-388-9700, and let's work together to get the most out of these markets, no matter where they're headed. Call 1-800-388-9700, 1-800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC. Leading with over 1 million searches, Subway has suspended longtime spokesman Jared Fogle after police raided his home this week as a part of a child pornography investigation involving the former head of Fogle's nonprofit foundation. Many people are now wondering on social media, will Subway eventually sever their ties with Jared? If so, they have some big pants to fill. Also trending with over 500,000 searches, Disney's Hollywood Studios has removed their bronze Bill Cosby statue after newly released court documents revealed that Cosby admitted to getting drugs to give to a woman with whom he wanted to have relations with. People who signed the petition to get rid of the statue said it was the right thing to do. Cosby has not commented on the documents and has denied sexual assault allegations. And pop singer Ariana Grande has one more problem. California police are now investigating a video that appears to show Grande licking donuts that were on display in a donut shop and later yelling, "I hate America." Grande has recently apologized for her remarks. This had over 500,000 searches. I'm Successful Brim with What's Trending this week on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back. Welcome. Not back, but welcome. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And he's back.
I am back.
Hooray! Huzzah!
And we got Bill Schwartz in the booth.
Morning.
So how was your vacation, Tobin?
You know, vacation is not really the right word for it because it was so quick. And we had such an adventure just getting there.
You talk about that a little bit.
So we left on Saturday, and as you know, the storms were here on Saturday. And as we were flying out of Los Angeles, our plane was struck by lightning. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't see the flash of lightning, but we hit some what I thought was like weird turbulence or something obviously happened. And there was like a weird vibration in the plane. And it was very cloudy and stormy out. And soon after that, the pilot comes on the radio and says, we're returning to LAX. We've been struck by lightning, and we need to check things out just to make sure everything's okay. It appears to be fine, but we need to check it out. And we circled around, and within a half an hour, we were back on the ground. Pilot did a beautiful job landing the plane. Everyone was calm. No one was freaking out. But as we pulled down the runway, you could see it was something like out of the movies. They had, a half dozen fire trucks with their sirens and lights going, and they were rushing along the side of the plane to get to us. And, I'm thinking, oh my God, what happened? Was the plane really that damaged? But they got us back up to the gate, and they said, we just have to check some things out, and then we'll probably get you on your way. Well, 3 hours later, they came back and said, we're not flying this plane today. And
so something serious was knocked out.
Shorted some electronics, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So then we had to go through the wonderful process of trying to get to Washington, D.C. on other airlines and rerouting. Now, I have to say we were flying Alaska Airlines, and they actually did a pretty awesome job considering how many people were involved and how stressful it was. But my son and I ended up doing a 4-airport hopscotch across the country, LAX to Seattle, from Seattle to Wisconsin, from
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, excuse me, and then from Minneapolis down to D.C.
How long was each layover?
The layovers weren't too bad, but we were flying all night long, and so we had got to the airport in the morning on Saturday, and we didn't get into D.C. until 10 in the morning
on
Sunday. So it was an all-day thing, to get us to D.C. Then when we got there, our luggage did not arrive with us, and so we had to go back to the airport later that evening to get our luggage. My son actually was going. We did this trip because he was starting his new job, and all of his brand new suits for his new job were in his suitcase. So he was very stressed about having work clothes for Monday, but we got that squared away.
I've heard there are people who not being happy with airline baggage. They pre-ship it with UPS.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to say they actually are, our luggage did catch up to us, and we did get it. And again, they handled it well. Interesting things though, like Alaska Airlines gave me a voucher for a future flight, so I've got a $400 off voucher. So thank you to Alaska Airlines for that. Delta was the plane that we ended up on at the end that lost the luggage, but they got it to us fairly quickly. I was smart, I guess, and bought the insurance when I booked all the trip, so I was able to get a full refund on my hotel that I didn't use, and was able to get my rental car people straightened out, so they still had a car waiting for me because I was really concerned that I wouldn't have a car. And not only did they have a car, but they upgraded me. I went from what was supposed to be like a little Toyota Corolla and ended up driving around in a nice BMW all weekend. So
wow,
yeah.
But I didn't know insurance actually covers your no-show at a hotel.
Well, it was I
If
paid
you buy
for the,
travel insurance, yes, it does.
and I got my hotel not through the hotel, but through a booking agency. I think it was Orbitz that ended up doing it because I bought my plane ticket through Alaska Airlines, and they use Orbitz as their subsidiary. So I wanted to book all of it at the same time, and I got the insurance, and so Orbitz covered it. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So but there was a stress level. When all these things start to go wrong, there's a real stress level. But it ended up being nice. We got back there, and we had a half day basically in D.C. Then my son went and started his new job on Monday. While he was working, I got a chance to head over to George Washington's plantation, Mount Vernon, and did some sightseeing. And as a history teacher, I gathered lots of stuff to use in my classroom. And then from there, we drove off to West Virginia to get our son settled in his new digs.
And he had a present waiting for him when he got there.
He had a present waiting?
2 of them.
Oh, kittens. He got little baby kitties. Cute cats. So, so he's excited about that. And we have cats at our house, and our son loves cats. So one of his friends who's been living in that same area in West Virginia for a year now had adopted a cat that was pregnant, and so they gave him some of the kittens. So he's got a little tabby and a little black cat.
Gomez and Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, they got lots of scratching posts and everything ready, and
oh, that's what legs are for.
Yes.
Oh.
So, anyway,
Now we
I'm
know.
just glad to be back. My flight home yesterday was much smoother. One leg straight through. Got home right on time.
No lightning.
Uneventful. Perfect trip.
So I want to let people know all the ways they can listen to KCAA AM 1050. Of course, you can find us at 1050 on the AM dial, but you can also find us at kcaaradio.com, where you'll find links to all of our social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You'll also find a button where you can listen right online. You can click to listen online. Make sure that you are allowed to stream at your office. You can listen using the TuneIn app on your iPhone, or you can listen using the going to kcaaexpress.com on your Android device. You can watch our embedded Ustream feed or click through and watch on Ustream. So if there's really no reason why you can't listen to KCAA AM 1050. If you have no internet and you have no radio, you can call to listen at 832-999-1050, 832-999-1050. Long distance rates may apply.
Yeah, I heard what she said about in the office. I was streaming at an office job I was doing once, and they were coming around checking out each cubicle.
Yes.
I go, okay, get out of it quick.
It's funny because I was in the office that I worked at during the World Cup. All of a sudden, when that game came on, our speed slowed way down. HR had to send out a email blast. Please stop streaming the World Cup.
Yeah, we can't do business. I'm glad you can stream, but we can't do
We can't
business.
do business. Yeah, so that's not okay. Listen on your phone. Or you know what? Honestly, some companies just said nobody's going to watch anyway. Let's bring in a big screen and watch during business hours because everybody's watching the World Cup.
That's right.
My company that I worked for was not one of those.
Yeah, your company pulled the whips out and said, back to work.
That's what TiVo's for.
You had a real taskmaster, eh?
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. They wanted us to actually work during business hours. Taskmaster.
And you probably expected to get paid too, didn't you?
I know. I did. Get paid to watch the game. So minimum wage has been getting some traction. Tobin, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So, this has been an ongoing debate over the last year. California, actually, the state took some steps and upped ours to $10 an hour, and it'll actually, next July, will go up to $10 an hour.
No, it's this July.
No, this July it went up to 9. Next year it goes up to 10.
Nope,
so they inched it up.
Nope, that was last summer. It went up to 9. This summer it went up to 10.
Okay. I stand corrected. But the point is that California's already bumped up the minimum wage. But $10 an hour appears to be not enough. Now the people on the left, the unions and various groups, fast food workers, have been asking for $15 an hour. And for Democrats, this has become one of those benchmark items that you have to check your box and say, yes, I support it. And so Bernie Sanders who's a candidate for president, has come out in favor of $15 an hour. So has Martin O'Malley. Hillary Clinton has kind of hedged her bets on this. She says she's in general in support of it, but she doesn't believe that it's necessarily good for the whole country. Different industries, different areas of the country may not be suitable for them. So she's kind of hedging her bets a little bit. She says, I like it for big cities like New York and LA where they can afford this, but smaller places, different industries, maybe not so much.
But the thing about it is they can't afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you're reaching the point now where you will see kiosks in fast food restaurants, and you're already starting to see. You go into Panera, you can check in using the kiosk. You can order a to-go meal using the kiosk. I've seen them in McDonald's, the pictures of McDonald's from around the world. That there's kiosks there. You're seeing self-checkout at lots of grocery stores, and so you say they can afford it. I don't even know what that means.
My friend, minimum wage.
The Democrats, though, want this to be one of the big issues of the next presidential campaign because they want to talk about income inequality. They want to demonize people like the Koch brothers, and they want to use this as a tool to divide us. This is my opinion. And so what we're seeing is a whole bunch of people that are now pushing this forward as an idea without going through the normal sort of political process of actually debating it and then having people vote on it to do it. So I'll give you an example. We have now the president of the UC system, which is
Janet Napolitano,
who has just announced that the UC system of California will now begin to pay a $15 minimum wage. I'm sorry, they will slowly move up to a $15 minimum wage over the next several years for student employees on campus. So they'll go up to $13, then they'll go $14, then $15. Over the next couple of years.
And what happens to tuition for the students the year after that?
Well, this is the thing. The media never explains how she intends to pay for it, right? It's this great big giveaway, and the kids are going to love it, right? So this is meant to be a way to get all these young people to vote for Democrats and Democrat candidates who say, I'll give you $15 an hour, which they love. Oh, this is great. But who pays? Well,
it's money. It comes from trees.
Yeah, so does tuition going to go up? I mean, this is the kinds of things the questions have to be asked. And in a normal process, in a normal political process, you would have that debate. But when you have bureaucrats just making these decisions and saying, we're going to do this, you don't get that full vetting that you normally would. And again, they want to use this issue because now a Republican will come out and say, I'm opposed to the $15 minimum wage. And they'll say, look at you, you want to keep these kids working for slave wages. And they'll use this to demonize their opposition.
But here's the thing. I mean, the UCs, there's no public official that votes on what the UCs pay their student assistants. They have a board of regents that can vote on this sort of thing. I mean, she's proposed that this is what she wants to do, but I think their board has to approve it. And so what I wonder is that the net effect will be that unless there is additional funding, they will have to reduce the number of student assistants that are actually working at each UC campus. For those who are able to find the work, it's great. But for those who can no longer find the work or won't be able to find the work, it's obviously problematic.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I've had some friends, as I put this on Facebook, people have chimed in and one of the things that was mentioned was that as minimum wage has gone up in certain places, what's happened is that the employers now are realizing they're getting a better crop of potential employees. So instead of this money going to the quote-unquote urban working poor, those people are actually being pushed out of the job force because now these jobs pay well enough that you're seeing more educated, more highly skilled people applying for those jobs. And so the people that you intended to help, right? These poor, unskilled labor people who could only get minimum wage jobs are actually losing their work out to better competition because, hey, if I can get $15 an hour working for McDonald's, and I've got my associate's degree or whatever, I'll go work there versus where and so there's an interesting sort of
a conundrum
that's going on.
Well, but market forces will apply. I mean, that's the reality. Everybody's going to push for the highest wage that they can.
Yeah.
We're past time for a break at 6:21. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
When Mitt Romney was considering who might be his 2012 running mate, each prospect was given a fish-themed code name. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, known as a tireless self-promoter with a bloated ego, was dubbed Pufferfish. The Romneyites determined that the prima donna Christie was wholly unqualified to be vice president. But their rejection did not deflate Chris's puffed-up self-esteem one dot. Indeed, the bragging and blustering Jersey Gov has convinced at least himself that he's the can-do, big-idea, forceful leader America needs, so he is now offering to be our president. Before accepting, however, you might check with one group of voters who are less than enchanted, the people of New Jersey. With a moribund economy, a state budget mess, a growing pension crisis, his state's infrastructure crumbling, and his own office caught in a web of scandals, Christie is not faring well with the home folk, earning only a 30% approval rating, with most voters saying they dislike, quote, everything about him. Nationwide, Christie is way back in the pack, getting under 3% of Republican primary voters. But he has found one friend. Maine Governor Paul LePage has enthusiastically endorsed him. Problem is, LePage is even more insufferable and insolent than Christie, so arrogant and autocratic that he's even alienated fellow Republicans in Maine and is now threatened with impeachment. Still, if anything, Pufferfish's ego is puffier than ever. Asked by Fox News why 65% of New Jersey voters say he'd make a poor president and should not run, the vainglorious governor actually said, "They want me to stay. Don't run for president because we want you to stay." This is Jim Hightower saying, it's one thing for a politician to say something like that, but far scarier, Christie is so out of touch with reality that he believes it.
Hightower's commentary is brought to you by the Hightower Lowdown. From Wall Street to Washington, this monthly newsletter reveals who's doing what to whom and why. Check it out, hightowerlowdown.org.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper. Now in the IE.
Hi, this is Steve Alladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the Wealth Management Solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for free dump day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Got Bill Schwartz picking the music.
Hello.
Running the booth, making sure that we actually run our ads on time. Sorry about that, Bill.
You'll pay.
Someday
you'll pay.
So we were having this discussion about minimum wage before the break, and I think I want to add that, one of the reason why we're having this fight about minimum wage is that people essentially have not had a raise since before the Great Recession started.
You've got these companies that are posting huge profits.
Right.
You think you'd throw the dog a bone?
Yes.
No.
No. And, it's and we've had inflation, of course, every year. Prices go up every year. Good grief, gas prices have exploded since the early 2000s. And so people are, since even like 2007, 2008. And so people they have much less buying power with their minimum wage or with their wages in general than they used to. And so people are really feeling the pinch, and that's where this is coming from.
And I'm open for the debate. I'm just not so fond of the way that the debate's being handled as a sort of a political sledgehammer as opposed to a really thoughtful debate about what's best.
It's an election season. People pick wedge issues.
I know. But, one of the things I didn't do in the last segment, and I feel it's important for me to do, I personally am a conservative, and that comes across obviously in my comments. But I do think that the left, that the liberals have some important arguments that need to be made. And so I have one here. This actually comes from Robert Reich, and he wrote this in response to an article about Bernie Sanders taking a position on the $15 minimum wage. And so Robert Reich says, here are 6 big arguments in favor of a $15 minimum wage and why those who don't want it are wrong. So number 1 is, if the minimum wage of 1968 were adjusted for inflation, it would be $10.60 an hour today. If it was adjusted for the increase in productivity of the American workforce since then, it would be over 20, which goes back to what Bill was saying, is that, look, we're working a lot harder.
Yep.
We're producing all this stuff. The businesses are actually being very successful. They should be sharing that wealth, right? And so the left is making that argument. I think there's something really to be said for that.
Yeah, I think it's a valid argument.
And so that's a good one. So number 2. Today's typical minimum wage worker is a major breadwinner for their family who desperately needs a raise. So minimum wage jobs, we used to think of those as the pimple-faced teenager that's getting that first job just to get their foot in the door, get some training, a little extra spending cash to go out to the movies with. Well, a lot of our minimum wage workers today are actually heads of households, fathers, mothers, who need to support family. And they can't do that on a minimum wage. And so that's a valid argument, too.
Not only can they not do it, what happens when they run out, they have to go to the government for benefits.
Right.
Which gets us to point number 3, right? Point number 3 on his list, which says, by not giving workers a $15 minimum wage, the rest of us subsidize the employers who refuse to provide their workers a living wage by providing them with food stamps, Medicaid, housing assistance, and other help to bring their families out of poverty. So again, there's a cost associated with this through our tax dollars, right? Now, what's interesting, though, is you won't hear for the left to say, and this is my little Republican hat coming on, to say, okay, as we raise the minimum wage, we will then cut those other services to pay for it. They'll say, no, that we're going to keep those services in place. And so what you'll find is people they're making the $15 an hour wage, plus they're also still getting those other benefits, I think. But that's my thoughts. Anyway, number 4 on his list, the argument that different sections of the country should have different minimum wages is hokum. Different sections of the country don't have different minimum safety standards or minimum Medicare or minimum Social Security or minimum worker compensation standards based on their different costs of living. So why should they have different minimum wages? Now, so he wants to federalize this thing to the point where basically everyone has to have the same minimum wage.
Yeah, but if you're making $10 an hour in Paducah, Kentucky, you have a better standard of living significantly than if you're making $10 an hour in San Francisco.
Alabama, and the cost of living there is way, way cheaper than all the other states.
Yeah, exactly.
So we actually talked about our son moving to West Virginia. And, I mean, based on the salary that he's making and the cost of living there, it's a much better deal for him. Whereas if he was making that same salary at that same company's office in Boston, he would be, in some trouble because Boston's so much more expensive than West Virginia.
Exactly.
And so he's got a good situation because he's in the West Virginia office. But a guy's hired at the same time at the same salary in Massachusetts, not so good.
Or San Diego or El Segundo or exactly.
So let me quickly go through these last two.
We actually have to take a break. We have about 30 seconds left? Can you do it in 30 seconds?
I can do it real quick. Number 5, the higher minimum wage won't cause job losses because it puts money into the hands of people who will spend it mostly locally and thereby create more jobs. And it will also attract more people into the labor market, thereby giving employers a greater choice of whom to hire, resulting in less turnover and lower costs. And then the final one, number 6, it's the right and morally decent thing to do. So these are some pretty solid arguments from the left.
Robert Reich is a smart guy.
I could argue and break him down. Obviously, like I said, I've got a different perspective. But I think the left does have good arguments that need to be out there. We need to be debating them. We need to be talking about them.
I agree.
Well, there's one other facet. There has been so much immigration. There are now so many bodies that employers don't have to up anything to attract talent.
It's supply and demand.
Yep.
The supply, the supply for people who need jobs, for supply of workers, is larger than demand for workers. For unskilled workers. So I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth. We are on the brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, and we'll be right back.
Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA 1050 AM.
California headline news: heat, erratic winds, and low humidity all combining to fuel a major wildfire burning in a remote area of Napa County, forcing evacuations.
The fire exploding overnight to more than 5,000 acres. Officials forcing residents in 2 neighborhoods to evacuate.
That's correspondent Aditi Roy in Napa. Vice President Joe Biden in California today, making the case for hiking the federal minimum wage.
Treating your employees with respect and giving them a piece of the effort that they put in the profit that occurs is not only the right thing to do, it's really smart business.
Biden visiting Los Angeles yesterday. He'll be in the Bay Area today. University of California President Janet Napolitano saying that minimum wage workers in the UC system will see their pay raised to $15 an hour over the next 3 years. Geico weather, seasonal temperatures, and dry today. I'm John Gilliland, California Headline News.
Right now, you're thinking about the car in front of you that left its blinker on. Blink, 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 blink for the last 5 miles. Well, snap out of it, because what you should be thinking about is switching to Geico and saving hundreds of dollars on car insurance. You can access Geico online, over the phone, or even on the mobile app, and it's so easy you can do it in the blink of an eye. See what I did there?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Times are different than they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. Everybody takes photos of their food nowadays. You can bet none of us kids would snap pictures of Mom's tuna casserole surprise. To this day, we don't know what the surprise was, nor do we want to. We didn't always have tasty food, but we always had great car insurance with Geico.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard for this morning. We've got cloudy skies through mid-morning with gradual clearing with a high near 90. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 63. Friday, sunny with a high of 92. Friday night, mostly clear, low near 63. Saturday, sunny and a high of 91. Saturday night, mostly clear, low near 63. Sunday, sunny and a high of 90. Sunday night, mostly clear, low of 63. Monday, sunny with a high of 90. Monday night, mostly clear with a low near 64. Tuesday, sunny and a high of 97. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low near 66. Wednesday, sunny skies and a high of 97. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind. NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
It's time for some Dilly-licious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best Dilly-licious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all Dilly-licious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dilly-licious sub sandwich, or simply Dilly-lightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
I want to keep my lawn.
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 We want to keep our lawn.
This is Rob from the Water Zone Show. Tune us in every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. and we'll tell you how to keep your lawn while reducing your landscape water usage.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. You can win tickets to the Junior University Musical Theater presentation of The Jungle Book. Just listen to KCAA all day long and get ready to win. Are you looking for adventurous entertainment for the whole family? Then join Junior University for a musical theater experience that is unmatched under the stars at Roosevelt Bowl in Paris Hill Park. This year, it's Mugwai and the Adventures in the Heart of the Jungle as Junior University presents William R. Dixon's adaptation of The Jungle Book. Show dates are July 17th through August 1st. Starting time is 8:15 p.m. General admission is just $10 for adults, and children 12 years old and younger are just $5. Two parents and all their children under 18 years can purchase a family ticket at the box office for just $25, and you can save 20% on a family ticket if you print it out at home by going to junioruniversity.org. Listen to KCAA and win tickets to The Jungle Book. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth.
Morning.
Yes, he is the Schwartz, that all-powerful voice.
And that funky music.
Well, I'm trying to imagine, if you recited a line from this song to your mother to explain why you're attracted to a woman. Oh, she's mighty, mighty. She's letting it all hang out.
She's a brick house.
Well, that sums it up, doesn't it?
Maybe because it's not 1979. Although maybe your mom would understand that depending on when she graduated from high school. But yeah. So we actually have some really sad news to report. The attorney for the station worked with KCAA. Legal diva reality star Loredana Neshi was killed in Los Angeles. Loredana Neshi, star of the Sundance Channel's show Loredana Esquire, was found dead in her Los Angeles home early Wednesday morning. Her partner, Robert Reagan, reportedly called police at 7:20 a.m. Pacific time. Officers from Redondo Beach, the police department, responded and found a deceased woman in the Redondo Beach residence. The police suspect foul play and have arrested Reagan, 51, on suspicion of murder. A neighbor said his wife, who was home at the time of the incident, didn't hear any loud noises or fighting coming from Neshi and Reagan's home, and he had never noticed anything wrong or weird with the couple in the past. Neshi started her career as a Los Angeles police officer. At one point, she was involved in a shootout at a bank in North Hollywood. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That bank in North Hollywood shootout? Before leaving the LAPD to attend law school at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut. She later joined two Connecticut practices, Spinella and Associates and Caden Ivers and Ivers, and was dubbed the legal diva by the Connecticut Law Tribune, a name that stuck when she moved back to California in 2004. In 2008, she began hosting her own radio show on KCAA 1050 AM. Her Sundance show kicked off in 2013, and she had also contributed on The View. At the time of her death, her website noted that Loredana Esquire was still airing, and she was slated to make more TV appearances in 2015. Neshi leaves behind one son with Reagan, Rocco Nesci Reagan. A former fitness competitor, the active lawyer's social media was filled with posts of her frequent workouts, love of the New York Yankees, and devotion to her family, including Rocco and their pet dogs Louie and Tukey and 2 cats. Nesci's last Instagram post just 24 hours ago was of her giving Louie a sweet kiss and included hashtags Lucky Diva, Dog Kisses, and Girl's Best Friend.
Kind of heartbreaking.
It is really, really heartbreaking.
I didn't know her personally, but as I've read the stories about her, she was a really amazing lady. She really did a lot of stuff, and I know that our station owner here at KCAA, personal friendship there, and had actually appeared on one of her reality TV shows, and he's heartbroken.
He is heartbroken.
Have the police said why they think her husband was connected?
Not yet. They will, but not yet.
Yeah.
So it's, because they arrested him so quickly, my guess is there was something pretty obvious going on.
Yeah.
And so our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who is affected by this. Certainly to Fred Lundgren, the owner of the station, and everybody who worked with Loredana and her family.
Yeah.
So, especially her son.
Yeah. If you got problems in your marriage, don't kill your spouse. Seriously. I mean, there are other ways to deal with those issues.
Well, and the reality is now their child has lost his mother.
Yep.
And will lose his father because
Yep.
his father will likely go to jail. So it's not just about what you're feeling in this moment.
Yeah.
We have the capacity to think rationally. Unless he had a psychotic break, I don't know.
Yeah. But, this is, obviously we'll learn more as this goes forward. But, we live in a modern society where people get divorced all the time.
They do.
Right? And, I mean, this is kind of a common occurrence. Not that I'm a big fan of divorce, but it's certainly better than the alternative of killing your spouse.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, divorce has been in the news quite a bit, Erin.
Yeah, lots of, and Tobin, why don't you take the lead on this one?
Yeah, look, TMZ, which is, if you're really looking for the good scoop on what's happening with our
they know all the gossip.
With our celebrities, they have got the story about Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton, who have been all over the news with their announcement of their divorce. And Miranda Lambert is now saying, of course, that The Voice was a big part of the problem. Blake Shelton is one of the judges on the TV show The Voice, and she says that it takes him out to LA 7 to 8 months a year, and this was putting a really strain on their marriage. That he wouldn't fly back to see her, that she was basically the one who had to fly out to see him, and she hates LA, and he was putting so much time and energy into that it really put a strain on their marriage. But the bigger element that's been sort of all over the tabloids is the accusations and counter accusations from both sides about infidelity, that both are accusing the other of fooling around with somebody else. And it's really sad that the relationship is over, but it's even, I think, sadder that they have now taken the gloves off and are throwing all the mud and swinging at each other, and their pain out sort of through the media. And of course, the media just eats this up.
Of course they do.
Right? I mean, we're the media. We're eating it up.
We're
right
talking
here.
about it.
We're talking about it.
Well, this will be the only time we talk about it.
Yeah.
We happen to be country music fans, and we're just sad.
And I'm fans of both of them. They're both very talented, and it is sad. And I hope that they're able to get beyond this and move forward in a positive way. And as I said before, this is even with all the ugliness of this divorce, it's better than killing your spouse, right?
Yes, or killing yourself.
Exactly. But TMZ actually has a whole big thing on all these divorce stories, and Ben
Affleck and Jennifer Garner, are getting a divorce,
and Khloe Kardashian and Lamar finally.
Oh my gosh! I thought they broke up a long time ago.
They did, but they finally finalized it. The paperwork has finally been filed and signed and all that, and so it's now official. And of course, Khloe is dating another basketball player already.
Well, she's really tall.
She is.
She's really tall.
She is.
So it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way. It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. If movies are your thing, there are free movie events all over the Inland Empire. Noble Creek Park in Beaumont will screen movies Monday nights. It's Thursday nights for movie nights at the Ovitt Family Community Library in Ontario with themed months. San Bernardino will play host to a number of movie screenings at various parks around the city this summer. Valley-wide Recreation is also in on the fun with a number of facilities in the Hemet-Menifee region showing movies. You can also enjoy movies in the park after dark at Lake Elsinore's Summer Lake Park. Additionally, free films will be displayed at Merino Valley's Conference and Recreation Center. For family-oriented movies, there's Yucaipa Community Park Amphitheater, along with Downtown Riverside and California Oak Sports Park in Murrieta. For more information on any of these movie venues, Google Things to Do, Free Events in the Inland Empire. Then, click on the Press Enterprise article and find out what's happening in your area. I'm Di Rice, and that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
It's the Onion Radio News. A UN factoid finding mission discovers Liberia is about the size of Tennessee. This is Doyle Redland reporting. UN factoid finders in war-ravaged Liberia have found the West African nation to be roughly the size of the state of Tennessee. Team leader Dr. Johan Sieber revealed the interesting size after returning from that fascinating African country this morning.
Did you also know that the flag of Liberia was modeled after the U.S. flag? Or that last year Liberia received over 200 inches of rain?
Over the course of the mission, the UN team, composed of soundbite engineers, fun fact-checkers, and a Trivial Pursuit squad, collected more than 300 informational tidbits about the desperately poor and war-torn country. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Got Bill Schwartz in the booth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. We've been talking about this for a while. The San Bernardino, what is it?
Employment
and Training Agency, SEBITA. San Bernardino Employment and Training Agency is likely to be found ineligible for reimbursement of its $1.2 million the city thought it would receive. City officials have learned, leading many of them to conclude that after 40 years, the center is doomed. Despite that, the city council voted 4-3 on Monday to give the center $135,000 out of the city's general fund, enough to keep it open for 1 month and meet July 29th to discuss possible options. That means, for now, the 10 full-time and 15 part-time jobs are safe, and SEBITA can continue offering the job placement and other services as the state moves to replace city-based centers like San Bernardino's with a county-wide approach. But an email from Tim Rainey, the executive director of the California Workforce Investment Board, sent to Mayor Kerry Davis and others in the city Friday, suggests that the cash hold that SEBITA has been under for a year will continue and won't be able to recoup $1.2 million that it has spent in the past fiscal year or any future money spending. That can be appealed, but Councilman Fred Charette said he spoke to people in the county and state level who all said SEBITA was a thing of the past. I believe that the die is cast and there is no hope of keeping SEBITA alive. At this point, we're just throwing good money after bad. We talk about fiscal sanity. This is fiscal insanity. When we're closing fire stations, we're not funding other things you like, yet we fund this with money we don't have.
Amen, Fred Charette. Look, I love SEBITA. I think that what they do is important, and we've got to continue to help people to find jobs and do that. But the city is bankrupt. They've run out of money. They're telling their creditors, we don't have money to pay you. They've closed fire stations, and as Fred has said. And to continue to spend money on this, knowing that the state will not give that money back, it boggles the mind. Someone should have made a decision on this much sooner. And unfortunately, it's because of the way that SEBITA has been run in the past and how it's sort of handled in the city. It was originally under the city's Economic Development Agency, and it was considered sort of a separate entity. So it wasn't. It didn't get the kind of oversight that it deserved.
Well, if people don't have jobs, you have no tax base.
Right.
Yeah. But will people still...
Were they actually getting people jobs?
They were, but a lot of what they did actually was they handled sort of federal and state monies that were given specifically for workforce training and for things like that. So you would have a federal grant or a state grant that said, you can take people who've got prison records and give them training so they can then get jobs and place them. And so SEBITA would be the place where those people could go to get that training and get that job placement. The new model they want to go to is for a county-wide model, so the county will run the program instead of individual cities having their own. And the sad thing is that San Bernardino, which is bankrupt, has just spent $1.2 million over the last year that they'll never see again. Because the state stopped paying them, but they continue to spend the money to run the program, even though they were no longer getting money to fund the program.
It's going out; it ain't coming in.
Well, there are defenders of the program. Defenders of keeping the job center open as long as possible. Most vocally, council members Virginia Marquez, John Valdivia, and Ricky Van Johnson, with Benito Barrios also joining the vote, say that after 40 years, it delivers a shot. SEBITA is a valuable asset, and I'm not going to give it up. Marquez said, "I'm going to fight to the end." So, they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah, a fight to the end. Okay, tell me where the money's going to come from. How are you going to recoup the money that you've already spent? The benefits that this provides, and it does provide benefits, do not match what the city has spent. Now, if the money was coming in from some other place to cover this, by all means, keep this program. But the money hasn't been coming in, and the bankrupt city of San Bernardino has been spending their own limited dollars to keep this program going. And at the same time, as Fred points out, closing fire stations in a city that, as we know, we're facing a horrible fire season this year.
Now, there are other resources for people in the city. So there are small business development centers. There are county resources. So if SEBITA goes away, it's not like there won't be any resources for people who are looking for jobs.
Exactly. And, again, this is throwing good money after bad. How do you justify this? I understand that you love that we have a program like that in our city, but there's a certain point you have to say we can get these programs in other ways without costing
Yeah,
us.
the Unemployment Development Department, they've got huge job
Right,
listings.
they do. Yeah.
Just walk in.
Do.
Look.
And you can go into the library and use computers if you don't have access to the internet and find jobs on lots and lots of job posting boards.
Yeah.
There's a community college, there's an adult school, there are technical colleges, there's a university here in the city. There are resources for people to develop job skills.
And this is just one more of the sad consequences of the city going bankrupt. And the decision-making throughout this process with Sabita highlights, again, why the city's in the mess that it is and why it continues to struggle, because they keep making what I will call bad spending decisions. When you don't have the money, you got to stop the spending. You just flat out have to stop the spending. And to continue to spend $1.2 million after the state has cut you off with some vague hope that you're going to get reimbursed for it, it's just wild.
Yeah, I was always amazed by my leftist friends in high school. It was never, how can I earn this? It was always, we can get funding. We can get a grant. I'm going, well.
Okay, so as a grant writer, in a lot of cases you can. Now, for individuals, it's harder. But, if you've got a good public benefit cause, then there are organizations, foundations, and individuals who want to fund that, to put their dollars to good use. And so, if you're perhaps they should have been writing grants. Perhaps they should have been more proactive about going out and finding funding.
And the reason this all got started is because the city of San Bernardino, again, as a consequence of the bankruptcy, fell behind on doing their audits. And they basically got 2 years behind on their audits, that they did not turn in their audits for Sabita to the state. And the state says, we don't know how you're spending your money. We're cutting it off. And so, they did this to themselves. And then after they got cut off, they continued to spend. Just, again, crazy.
In their defense, they've been horribly short-staffed. The turnover in the city has been very high, and so through this, developing their plans for moving forward, they're doing it with less staff, they're doing it with less money, they're doing, all of that.
Yep.
And so yes, it's a casualty of the bankruptcy, and it is. It's sad to watch, but unfortunately, I think they do have to cut it off, at least for now. And perhaps they say that Sabita will come back later when they're on firm financial footing. They can then reapply and get it going again.
Yeah, and I think that's what'll have to happen. But I think you're going to see is it'll be re-envisioned as a county collaborative with each city participating in some small way, but the county will be the person and the agency that's in charge of running it.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
People are thinking less on a city-by-city basis and more on a regional basis. Because let's be honest, you could drive from downtown Los Angeles to the end of Redlands and never leave an urban area.
Yeah.
It's just one city after another, after another, after another. So we need to think regionally.
Yeah.
We're at the end of the show. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
Got Bill Schwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Have a productive Thursday, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Weekly jobless claims dropped to the lowest level since 1973. The Labor Department says first-time applications plunged 26,000 last week to 255,000. Today is the busiest day of the earnings season, with 50 S&P 500 companies reporting. Already out today, Caterpillar matching profit estimates, but revenue came up short. The heavy equipment maker says its sales this year will be weaker than originally thought. McDonald's is still struggling to turn around its business. Its quarterly profit fell 13% as fewer customers ordered up its hamburgers and fries. And Comcast reporting a rise in profit on the success of films like Jurassic World and Furious 7. CNBC's parent also was able to hold on to more of its cable TV customers. After the close, Amazon weighs in. The online retailer is expected to report a loss. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
Good morning. It's 7:02. I'm Bill Schwartz with your traffic and weather. Partly cloudy skies today. Humid with temps in the 70s and 80s for the IE. Beaches are going to be in the 70s. Mountain and high desert communities mostly sunny with temps in the low 70s. Currently, it's already 69 degrees. Checking out your drive. In Chino, we've got stop-and-go traffic on the 60. That's westbound between Ramona Avenue and the 57 Orange Freeway. And in Corona, stop-and-go traffic on the 91. That's westbound between McKinley Street and Green River Road. Also, we still have that bridge down in Desert Center. That's I-10 eastbound and westbound. Supposedly, that bridge is going to be reopened by noon tomorrow. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Hi, this is Steve Alladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070. Or
when Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun, barefooting in the sun, barefooting, flow rider barefooting, wet and wild barefooting. Bring your friends and stay all day. Wet n Wild is your place to play barefooting.
Yeah, you gotta get barefooting this summer at Wet n Wild. Dive into all the thrills, all the action, all the fun. Take on awesome slides and rides. There's big fun for kids and much more. This summer, we have extended hours, dive-in movies every Friday, and everyone gets free tubes. Plus, save $7 on admission when you buy online or grab discount coupons at area Jack in the Box restaurants. For your best summer ever, it's Wet n Wild.
Slipping, sliding, barefooting, getting soaked barefooting, Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild.
Barefooting, Wet n Wild barefooting.
Wet n Wild. Park open daily.
KCAA.
has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.